Welcome to part 2 of the Beast Mode VZ Chassis BMAX. Today we're going to be doing the front side and the sides, so the side dampers on our VZ chassis. And yeah, part 3 will come soon, so stay tuned. And also check out the link in the bio for part 1 if you haven't seen it yet. And if you like these videos, subscribe and we'll get some more for you. Thanks. Okay, so we use this as the stay. We'll mount the rollers on there, and these will be for the brakes. So let's see how that goes. And I cannot figure this out for the life of me. I don't know if this is supposed to actually work like this, but I feel like even a 19 here would still be a little bit too much room over here. If I take that off, I don't even know if that's strong enough, or I could maybe put a rear brake plate here with the other plates on top. Decisions. So I'm gonna sleep on that one, and hopefully something comes to me, because I'm drawing a blank. Maybe I'll just take another one of these for the rear and put that on front. As I feel like then I could go through here. I don't know if that would be enough clearance for the rollers, but then I could put the 12 and 13 millimeter doubles on top. So I'm going to go buy another one of these and then we'll see. All right, so second part of this, we are going to put on the front and the side. So first off, we'll take this off. We don't need that right now. And we'll start off by screwing down this onto the top. So we got the Japan Cup carbon fiber 2025. So we'll just put that a screw in here and a screw over here, just to hold it in place while we're working. Okay, and then what I want to use is these double aluminum rollers, and I'll put these on the top, and then I want to put these on the bottom to try that out, so it's kind of the roller on double roller. See how that works out. And we'll also be using these cap screws. So the idea is it's going to look like this. We get this, the spring washer, and then a plate, and then the spacer, roller spacer, and then on top of there we'll do the spacer and then the double roller, and then go up from there, and then put on top of that these high mount stabilizers. So let's see how that works out. Don't forget to lube up. Cap that off. I just realized that's not going to go into the chassis. Great. Oh my god. And on top of that, I just remembered you get a little handy drill, and they're so nice that you have to build the goddamn thing by yourself. Oh my god, this is wild. Absolutely wild. And we're back, now that I hate my life. So we got one of these done, so let's do the other one. So we're gonna skip a little bit, but this one shouldn't take too long. So we're gonna put them on like this and then put the dampers on the other side. So I've already got these two countersunk. So next we have to do this one and this one right here. So let's get at it. Unlock this. And check it out. If you need a little bit more, give it a little bit more. And just like that. And then we'll do this one too. Alright, so there we are. We got these both countersunk. And we can put them on. So let's just do that right now. So we got the countersunk screws. Do they have a little one? Oh my, there's no baby one. Maybe we don't need these just yet. Alright, so let's get these on, even though we did that for nothing. But it's good to know that the drill works. Alright, so the idea here is to get the damper here on this hole to get it up as close as we can to the tire. So we want more weight focused over the tires, at least as much as possible. So we'll get this one on too. So it should look like that. A little bit different than normal, but I think it's, I don't know, it looks alright. And now to take these off and countersink this where that should be. Alright, so we're going to countersink this one here and then this one over here. Feels like I'm just throwing away money doing this. Jeez. Now we're good to go. So here we'll take the countersunk screw set. Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna pause this because these bags are always a bit noisy. Okay, what length should we do this with? Let's think. Alright, there we go. Sitting nice and flush. We're going to put the 30mm on here. Alright, so again, the washer feels like a long time for me because I had to make that stupid drill, which I'm very happy for now, but it was very annoying to build. You can actually check that out. I made a video of it because I wasn't just going to let that fly. There we go. And then we're going to do the same thing. So on the corners of here and then up through the top of there. Alright, so I like to get one side started down and then get them both on first and then start screwing it in. Because if you screw this down and then you try and put that into there, it's not going to really work out too well. Alright, so now that they're like this, I usually put my finger right on top, and then as you're screwing, you can feel it start to hit the top. That's when you know when you're good, and then you know they're both on the right side, and you're not going to have any problems screwing them down. So I'll just finish screwing these out. Alright, and here we go. Very nice. So first we'll get a nut on each side. Okay, so now that we got the nut down, we're going to do these. So we need spacer, and then a bearing, and then the pipe, bearing, spacer again. So we got spacer, bearing. Give it a little bit of a lube job. There. Then we need a little tube, another bearing with a little bit of oil on there. And boom. And we can top it off with a screw. And that wasn't a screw. I could see. I can get this washer off. It's not looking to come off very easily. That wasn't even a washer. Oh, that was a spacer. Okay. Let's find a screw then. 2 actually. 1, 2. And screw that down. Actually, we might be able to just use the stabilizer, but we'll see, just to keep this in place for now. Alright, I had a missing bearing after that whole ordeal, which was fun. But we got it. You can't get away from me. Might be a little too much. Okay, and then we need the last washer spacer, and we're good to go. Okay, looking pretty good. This sits really, really low, so I'm a little nervous about that, but we'll see what we can do. So we got the high mount stabilizer set. So putting it on the table, that is super low. I think we might have to get rid of the ones on the bottom. So as always, good intentions, poor execution. Should have known that was going to happen. Alright, and this is what it runs like. Very nice. Alright, back to square one. So we're going to actually put a little spacer right there. Okay, much more manageable. Alright, and same deal. So we got a nut down there. Bearing spacer. Bearing. This. Get the little shaft that goes in there. The other bearing. And then a bearing spacer again. Like so. The simplest is always the best. Alright, so we'll see how much room we need for these. I wonder if this fits in there. I don't know if it will. We gotta figure a way to screw these down though. Okay, so we got baby spacers. And then get that on there. And inside there is a spring washer. And then we'll just screw those down. And there we go. We got the front part mostly done. We're going to put one more plate right here. So we'll have kind of like a step down for the other, this straight stay. So for the washer between it, we want it to be just about the size of the plate and that washer right there. So that should be perfect. Alright, so we got this one counter-struck as well. So same idea, we got screw, washer, and then up through the chassis right here and here. Alright, so one thing actually worked out. We got space below there. There we go. The little stepper. So here we're going to put down some nuts, and then we will also put on the weights and some cap screws, or some lock nuts. Alright, so we got these two for the front, and then the other pair, I'll put some lock nuts on there, and then the other pair that goes in this set, that is going to go onto the back, and then we're going to get heavy on the sides here. So I'm going to use these red ones. I was planning on using blue, but I think the red will help it stand out a little bit more. So we get those on. Alright, that looks pretty good. Not a whole lot of travel, but should work alright. And then we need to get these out. And I guess we could just go the other way through and put lock nuts on there. Alright, so the front is done. Next up, we're going to put on some dampers on the side, and that will be it for this video. Alright, so I debated either using these big ones or these ones. So I'm going to just try the big ones and see how it goes. So let's get started on these. So we'll do the screw, washer, put it through, washer, nut, and then this, and then probably another cap screw, maybe the stabilizer ball, but we'll see. All right. So yeah, it's coming together pretty good. Let's get it finished off. Okay, and there we go. So we got the balls on there for now. I think the balls look pretty good because it does match the chassis. We got the weights on the end. Should be running pretty good. So that's all for this part. We got the whole front mounted. All we really need to do now is put brakes on the front, but we can do that later too. We got the carbon, Japan cup. We got the lightweights up front. These screws maybe a little short. And then here we have the 13 and 12 with the rubber, the stabilizer. The big boys on the side, got all that as close to the tires as we could. So hopefully that'll help with the impact. And thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll get the whole back set up, and then it'll be ready to go. Thanks.